Page 12, the evening star. In this lesson, they talk a little bit about the bass pedal sustaining the low note. See, sound is built from the bottom up, so that bass line is really important. One of the uses we do with pedal is we'll use it to make that note last longer when we can't hold it down with our fingers. And that's the purpose. So if you want the bass note in whatever piece, if that bass note for some reason needs to be held longer and you can't with your hand, you use the pedal for that. Now I'm going to go through the process that I use to learn a piece of music, and we'll see what happens. I look it over, I see it's a little over a page long. The clef signs are treble and bass clef. Always check the clef signs. They may not be treble and bass all the time. The key signature, there's one sharp. We're in the key of G major. If you're into doing the scales, I don't know if you are or not, but if you are, then do the G major scale. One octave up and down, but it's the trill exercise and the accents that will do you the most good. And 3/4 time signature, and I trust you know the names of all these notes, even the ones on the ledger lines, but I'll talk about them. Both hands are playing at the same time, so I'm going to talk one hand at a time. We'll start with the right hand. They want thumb on G, that's here, that puts the hand here. And it's 1, 2, 3. Now they want the fourth finger. Well, then in that case, the hand is actually here, not here, it's here. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And in the third measure, that natural sign, it's not needed. It's C natural anyway. But it's good to be clear. You may think, well, maybe they made a mistake and they meant C sharp, because you just had a C sharp. So, yeah, if there's any question of any doubt at all and you're writing music, put in a courtesy sign to help them out. So the C natural here, and that's tied for 5 counts, and then you go on, and then cross over, similar to a scales here. 2, 3, 1, 2. Then in measure 9, it's a G again, but it's a repeated note. So I'm going to change hand positions on the repeated note. So I'm just going to do 3, just lift up and move. Actually, just scratch up 2 if you want. 2, 3. Remember the F sharps in the key signature. 2, 2, 3, 1, 2. Reach down, and then you cross over, 2, 1. And that's tight, so hold that down for 6 counts. And then for measure 17, you're just going to lift up and move. I don't like that too much, but sometimes we have to, so we will. Just lift up and move. And you do the whole mess again. Left hand, let's see what it's doing. Well, it's going all over everywhere, because you have a G, and then a B, a D, and that top note, 3 ledger lines, that's a G. 1 ledger line is C, 2 is E, 3 is G. So what we're going to do is you're going to play the bottom note and then put your hand in position for the rest of the notes. So it's 1, 2, 4, rest. That's an A. It's above the 3rd ledger line. It's an A. Rest. Now in measure 5, you'll notice the F has a sharp sign in parentheses. Well, it's an F sharp anyway because of the key signature. So the parentheses is another way of indicating a courtesy sign. They're just reminding you, make sure you play an F sharp. The reason here is because it's followed by a B flat, and it's rather unusual to have a sharp and a flat follow each other like this. Can do it, obviously, but you may think, well, there's a mistake here somewhere. No, it really is. It's an F sharp and a B flat. So again, measure 5 is here. 1, 2, rest, and then E flat, 2, rest. Now, measure 9, they give you a natural sign in the E. You don't need the natural sign, it's an E anyway. But it's a courtesy sign, and they could have put it in parentheses too, but they didn't. It's a 1. Here, you have C sharp there, and then here. I think they're getting a little carried away with their natural signs, because you really don't need these natural signs. In measure 11, that B, that's a natural. Those accidentals are only good for the measure they're in. Just keep that in mind, because another publisher may not give you natural signs like that. Let's go over to the end. I'll measure, well, it's the end, the last two measures. They're on page 13. It's here, 2, 1, and that last note is 3 ledger lines, it's under it. Well, 1 ledger line, 2 ledger lines, 3 ledger lines, and that's right under it. It's a G. So, yeah, way down there. If you have a short keyboard and you don't have that note, just play the lowest G you have. You have to adjust for your keyboard. That's fine. Now, once I have an idea what the hands are doing, now I'm going to try and put them together. And I'll hesitate. I don't care. That's fine. I kind of want them to work here. Now, we have a problem in measure 2 because the right hand has the G down and the left hand needs that note. So the right hand's got to get off it just a little early so the left hand can have it. That means I cannot connect that. And I'd like to, but we'll let the pedal help us there. But you got to get off that G a little early. Obviously, with the left hand moving around like this, you got to look down at the keyboard, but only look down long enough to get you where you need to go, and then you can look back at the music. So I go through it, I put the hands together, and then I'll go back over it slowly and carefully and take it a line or so at a time if you need to, but get rid of the hesitations. So it's a steady beat. And then I add the articulation, and here it's all connected. Connect it if you can at that. In the measure 8, and you're going down to measure 9. That's the new phrase. You can't lift up like taking a breath. Of course, it's a repeated note. You have to anyway. And then at measure 16, you got to lift up to come up here. Well, it's the end of a phrase, so you get away with it here. The left hand, you connect it. I mean, you can't connect that. Pretend you can. No. Then the dynamics, when it applies to the melody, it's the right hand. M piece mezzo piano. Whatever you think sort of soft is. This left hand has to be very soft in the background. Don't play them the same. Just ruins it. Please don't. Keep that left hand out of the way. We want to hear the right hand. Now, and finally, the speed. Andante is kind of a leisure stroll. It's not slow, just 1, 2, 3, 1. That's fine, about where I've been going. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then, of course, the pedal. Well, we need pedal in this, and the idea is we want to hold this bass note out for a couple of measures almost. So we're going to use the pedal for that. And that's the reason we're using the pedal. Otherwise, we wouldn't need pedal in this piece. If we could connect that left hand, and we could sustain that bottom note, we want it to sound through the whole thing, we wouldn't need pedal. So again, it's going to be lag pedaling. That's the notes go down first and then the pedal. I want to start the sound before I release the overtones. At the beginning, the notes, then pedal. And we'll lift the pedal right as I play the C sharp. So it's by itself. And that's the pedaling throughout, but it sustains this note. We want that note sustained. That's what we're after. pedal and everything come up together. You want to be careful on these broken chords in the left hand because they're not all the same. They change things occasionally. Look out. There is an RIT at the end where you slow down. And those hairpins right before the end there, you get a little louder here. Come up to here. Just a little bit. You don't get loud. Just that's the note you're after. And then come down. And all the time at the end when I'm playing this, I want to hear this. Don't drown it out. You got to get softer and softer and softer because this dies away. Now don't copy me on this, that's just one way of doing it. You make it yours. They give you a metronome marking at a dotted half note that's per measure. I might play it a little slower than that. Actually, I would play it a lot slower than that. Because 1, 2. That might be a bit fast, but you don't have to take it that fast. Let's play this together slowly so we can check the notes and the rhythms. I'm not going to do louds and softs, and I'm not going to do the pedaling because you hear the notes better without the pedal. And you do it one hand at a time if you need to. Now this is after you've learned it. You got to learn the notes and the rhythms first before you try this. I'll give us 3 counts. Let's try it together. 1, ready, go. 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3.